You think you should eat 3 meals a day, don't you? Have you ever asked yourself why? Of course you haven't, dumbass. Because you've been conditioned to believe exactly as you are told. Now this is your last chance. There's no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. To answer this question, we first have to take a look at our ancestors. Let's envision a Roman, a caveman, and a European settler walking into a Walmart. How would they react? Well, the Romans were well ahead of their time. I'm not surprised they conquered the planet. They were obsessed with the digestive system and believed that eating any more than 1 meal a day was considered a form of gluttony. So as the Romans stared at the miles of shelves full of neatly packaged carcasses and watched the hordes of people filling their shopping trolleys to the brim with enough food to feed a small country, he would start calling everyone out for being gluttonous pigs, wondering what had gone wrong and why he was suddenly in a Walmart when a few seconds ago he was fighting the barbarian hordes. A caveman's food was scarce and they liked to kill each other for it. Our prehistoric ancestors would go days, even weeks without food, so the cavemen would start attacking everyone in sight, smashing them over the head with a rock and stealing their food to take back to his tribe. There would be no judgment, just murder. Fun fact, the leading cause of death in the prehistoric era was homicide, usually caused by one man wanting another man's food supply and taking it by force. The oldest slaying we know of dates back 430,000 years from a body found at the bottom of a well. Poor guy probably just had a lucky fishing session. Now the European settlers, the dudes that invaded North America in around 1565 and pretty much took over. They are the idiots that created the breakfast, lunch, and dinner rule. This was because the eating schedule of the native tribes was all over the show. They ate when they felt like it, and the Europeans, being the stuck-up twats that we are, I am, took this as evidence that natives were uncivilized. That's right, you eat 3 meals a day at set times because some likely racist, idiotic European invaders thought it made them sophisticated. So he would just get on with his shop like the rest of us, grabbing his Cocoa Pops for brekkie, a boy for lunch, and maybe a lovely roast for din-dins. So what does this say about how we eat today? Well, clearly the 3 meals a day thing only came about in the past 400 years or so, meaning our bodies have not had a chance to evolve to that frequency of feasting as it takes millions of years to evolve. The mantra of the modern day nutritionist or doctor is that if we don't eat every few hours or so, then our blood sugar levels will drop and we could get ravenously hungry and overeat or get very weak. Well, through the research that I've done for this video, I found no evidence whatsoever that eating 3 meals a day means literally anything. So how it's still such a well-known societal construct is just a fucking mystery to me. So what happens when we eat 3 meals a day? Or even worse, 3 meals with snacks in the middle? Or even worse than that idiotic 9 meals a day thing that bodybuilders spout. You've got to eat 10 minutes before your workout, 10 minutes after, a little bit in the middle, have some on the toilet, eat until you fucking throw up, mate, or you're never gonna get them gains. You know what I mean? Bro. It means our insulin levels are eternally raised. Insulin is a hormone that regulates levels of glucose, which is essentially sugar in the blood. It helps cells absorb the glucose, and during digestion, insulin stimulates muscle, fat, and liver cells to absorb glucose. This is because the body breaks down carbohydrates into simple sugars, and if the cells do not effectively remove glucose from the blood, the body stores the glucose in tissues as fat, which can cause weight gain. This wouldn't be a problem if we were all super athletic Usain Bolt motherfuckers and burning thousands of calories a day, because we would need the energy and we wouldn't gain weight. But only 22.9% of Americans exercise regularly, leaving the other 87% to continue eating their European settler, I'm more civilized than you diet, keeping their insulin levels high and their fat piling on. I used to be in that 22.9%, but life and the comfort of sitting in front of this computer consuming is just so goddamn dopamine that I can't seem to escape it at the moment. Although keep your eyes out for my next video series because it's time to make a change. Luckily for me though, I found a way to at least slightly counteract my inactive mess, thanks to the father of medicine himself, Hippocrates. As you may have guessed, He's Roman. Well, at least I think he is. I get confused between the whole Greek-Roman situation. Like, who conquered who? Are they the same people? Anyway, he invented what we know today as fasting. Fuck the European settlers. If they want to think I'm uncivilized because I don't eat their regimented eating plan, well, they can just get fucked. I don't care. So what is fasting and what are its benefits? Fasting is the willful refrainment from food and sometimes drinking. From a purely physiological context, fasting basically refers to the metabolic status of someone who is not eating overnight, or to the metabolic state achieved after complete digestion and absorption of a meal. In other words, it's abstaining from eating for long periods of time. By doing this, our bodies will start to release a hormone known as glucagon. This is basically the inverse of insulin, resulting in weight loss, therefore resulting in a healthier body. This is of course dependent on the fact that you are in the market for shedding a few pounds. Okay, so say you're in the percentage of people that aren't overweight, should you therefore eat 3 meals a day? I mean, if you exercise regularly, eat healthily and want to, then yeah, you can. But there are tons more benefits to fasting than just losing weight. It supports blood sugar management, helps prevent disease, supports brain function, delays aging, and supports growth and metabolism. There are loads of different types of fasting. Some people choose to skip breakfast and just have lunch and dinner, which is great as you will lose a whole meal's worth of calories, kickstart your glucagon hormones, helping with fat loss. Or you can do what I do, follow the Omad diet. The Omad diet is when you only eat one big meal a day in the evening. Weirdly, your body produces a hormone known as the hunger hormone, ghrelin. This stimulates your appetite by signaling to your brain it's time to eat, around about the time that you usually eat. We don't know much about why this happens, but if you were to break the pattern of eating at certain times of the day, it wouldn't take long for your body to reset and you will genuinely not feel that hungry until you have your meal at night. Trust me, I do it every day. This means you will stay well under your calories for the day. I am a huge advocate for this diet. I was able to go from chubby chubster to basically Brad Pitt Fight Club level shredded in just a year by following this method. It's great. You wait, drink some water or whatnot, unless you're doing a full water fast, which is a whole other thing. Probably make a video on it at some point and make a huge 1,800 calorie meal and scran the fuck out, which then usually makes you sleepy as eating huge amounts of food does, and you get yourself to bed. I highly recommend it. Well, fasting isn't for everyone, and don't take my word for it. Do your own research before starting anything like this. But to conclude, eating 3 meals a day is a man-made construct, and you do not have to do it. In fact, you'll likely reap some serious rewards if you give it a try. So give fasting a go before you end up having to get airlifted out of your apartment so you can get your stomach stapled together because you look like that vampire from Blade, and you haven't seen your in 20 years. I haven't seen mine because it's just so small. I can't find it. Help me. You will thank me in the long run. Enjoy food. Don't let food enjoy you. If you enjoyed that video, then you're looking to improve your life, so good on you, and you should watch this video next because it'll get you a head start on everyone in life.